Now, can you tell the difference between fake diamonds with a naked eye? And if so, how?
Man, nowadays the jewelry business is so crazy. They got so many things that you can't really tell. I would say 9 out of 10 I can tell. Usually when it's just too rainbowy and too clear, that's when it's probably not diamonds. But it's hard now, unless they're like big stones, like big rocks. Those little stones, you can't tell, man. The game is sick. It's crazy. I feel like the jewelry game is all about preference now. What you prefer, you know, gold, diamonds, or silver, alloy. It's all about a preference now.
And when you say you can tell 9 out of 10 times, can you tell far away, or do you have to be up close and really on someone to really be able to tell if it's
usually
with the naked eye?
It's usually you could just tell. A lot of stuff, especially like, and when I say the good stuff that you can't tell, it would actually be custom made. Like, you know, we have customers that come and say, hey, you know what? I want to make this piece in silver and cubic zirconia. And to be honest with you, to me, I don't consider that a fake piece. We're doing the same work we're doing as a jeweler. We're just using different metals and different gems. But now, if he takes that piece and he's wearing it and he's claiming he's spending a certain amount and he's going around saying it's gold, then it's a fake piece, you know? And that's my whole like definition to that, or my opinion about it. But most of the time people are rocking like the middle of the mall stuff, or the stuff you'll see on eBay that, you know, you could just tell off top, like the craftsmanship, the work on it, like nobody would even spend that kind of money on something that looked that trash. But then, like I said, there are people that are actually making custom pieces, spending the money to get them customized and using different metals and gems.
Now, when it comes to rappers, when you say you can spot 9 out of 10 fake jewelry.
Oh, man.
When it comes to rappers, you know, rappers you might meet, rappers you might see, or just catch real quick. If you could put in your opinion, of course without naming names, what would you say nowadays, in your judgment, in your opinion, would you say rappers are wearing fake jewelry versus real jewelry, or maybe a mix of both, or what's going on nowadays?
I think majority is fake. And I feel like the ones that have the real ones do have some fake ones too. Or have some that aren't made of gold, you know, and diamonds.
Have you been disappointed by someone that you've spotted to wear jewelry and you know it's fake? Is that?
I wouldn't say disappointed, but you know, like I said, it's a preference now. Coming from a generation where I come from, it's just, if you want something, you work for it. If you want a Rolex, you work for the Rolex. You don't buy a Swatch or a watch that look like a Rolex to act like it's a Rolex, you know? So it's just like, I don't want to say like as judgmental, but it's like, I feel like it speaks a lot about a person, especially when you know that they're acting like it's real. It's just, what is the point of that? You know, like, I would respect the person that said, you know, I wear silver jewelry. I don't have no need for the gold. Why spend money and invest into that? You know, I know some millionaires that wear fake watches and stuff, and I'm nowhere near their price and all my watches. You know, I have a good taste for the watches, and I'd rather just have that, you know, just buy that. To them, it's like, I'll spend $1,000. I would lose $1,000 anyways if I bought the real one and sold it. So I'm just gonna spend $1,000 and wear the fake one. But it's preference, you know. I just can't do it, you know. I just can't.
Now, when you say it's a preference, and we're talking about fake jewelry and real jewelry and rappers getting fake jewelry, are they getting fake jewelry to save money? Are they getting fake jewelry because they feel like they may lose the piece, or they might not be very responsible with it, so it's something that, hey, if I lose it, who cares? It was fake anyways, it doesn't matter. Do you feel like maybe some rappers are, maybe, I don't want to say, well, let's just say purpose is just scary, and maybe they're afraid they might get robbed or jumped and they might lose a piece. Are any of these reasons why people get fake pieces, or?
You know, those sound like some very logical and good reasons. I think some are like that. But, you know, and this is just my opinion, but I feel like maybe more just believe in that saying, fake it till you make it, you know? The illusion, the look, you know, I feel like that's what it's all about now. It's looking the part, you know, until you get the part.
Now, do rappers rent jewelry?
I've heard of it. I've heard of a lot of crazy things, and I know it's true. But we don't do that on our side, you know. We just rather deal with just straight out business, you know. But there's a lot of stuff, and I think I might get some slack for this, but they're renting, they're doing payments, they're financing now. It's crazy, man. It's definitely crazy, you know.
Now, when we were talking about fake jewelry, how accurate are those diamond testers I see some people use?
Man, I'll tell you, they're
the one that's kind of like a pen.
They're pretty accurate, but then they're not. One time I had a customer come in trying to sell me his AP watch, Audemars, and the dude was from out of town, so he came and we worked out the price, and something just told me like, just get it checked. And so I'm like, I'm hitting the bezel and it's hitting diamond. And when I started getting to the band, it was like telling me it wasn't. And at first I was like, oh, this dude's trying to get me. Later on, you know, we brought it to, you know, upstairs to our professional, and he had like a more accurate one, and we made sure that it was. So those pens, sometimes, you know, they don't work too well, you know what I mean? But they're pretty accurate. They're as accurate as it could be, you know, in this situation.
Now, let's talk a little bit more accuracy. Fake watch buster.
Yes, sir.
How accurate are they?
Fake watch buster, he knows what he's talking about. He definitely does. But my personal opinion on that situation is that how can you really tell by a picture? It could be at a different angle. I've even had people try to get him to bust me on certain things, and it might be the angle of the watch, and you know, the date window might look off because of the angle it's facing, you know. So he's very accurate. He knows what he's talking about. But I just feel like you can't really 100%, unless it's like them super fake joints. I really feel like you just can't 100% know if a watch is fake or real unless you get it in your hands and you open it up. Because they got some really good replicas. I've even heard of gold presidential Rolexes that are made out of gold with the fake motors. I've heard of all kinds of stuff.